Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, the topic I want to discuss is hearing God's voice in our life. And the question I want you to ask yourself is this: is God's voice the loudest in my life? And I really want you to take the time to reflect on this question, because in order to hear God's voice, the first step we need to take is by not allowing the voice of the enemy to overshadow God's voice in our lives. And the first step we need to take is by making more available time for God in our daily lives through prayer and through reading His Word. One of the biggest issues that hinders you from not hearing God's voice is due to limited time we give to God. But in order to hear God's voice, we need to build a relationship with Him. So it's like, for an example, when you're in a relationship with someone. You dedicate a lot of time and energy into the relationship because you love the person and want to spend any and every time you can with them. So in the same way, in order to build a relationship with God, we need to do so by reading His Word to get to know Him better. And once you begin to read His Word, only then will you be able to understand who He is and be more receptive to hearing His voice. And so I wanted to read a portion from the Bible. It's from the book of John, chapter 10, from verses 2 to 5, and it says this: "The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice." So when you look at the relationship between a shepherd and a sheep, it's actually really interesting. The relationship that's built between them is through trust. You see, on a daily basis, the shepherd leads the sheep, and the sheep follow the shepherd because they trust and rely on the shepherd for guidance and protection. And we see here that the sheep are able to recognize the voice of their master because they are able to identify who their master is. So in the same way, when we put our trust in the Lord and when we build a personal relationship with Him through prayer and through reading His Word, and we make a daily habit of this, only then will we be able to hear God's voice and trust in Him, because we will be able to identify who our master is. And then only then will we be able to identify who the enemy is and run away from the path of destruction that the enemy wants to lead us in. And so I encourage you to pray more often and just to speak to God in your mind, and only will your yearning for Christ grow stronger, and the time you spend in His presence will grow. And so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found this video to be encouraging, and I hope you guys all have a blessed day.